And we're back on Morning Barbados for this Fab Friday, as my good friend and colleague would describe it. Anytime it's Friday, it's fabulous. And we're talking about energy savings. You're hearing so much these days about the greening of Barbados. You're hearing about the need to preserve the environment and do all these environmentally friendly things. And we have some folks who not only bring that in focus this morning, but who have actually helped you save money in the process. We want to welcome them all from the Solar Store Barbados. Gentlemen, good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
Thanks for getting up this early, first of all. And I know you're going to bring us the gospel according to solar energy. But I have to, and Andrew Hall-Holland.
That's me.
That's you.
Sir.
Let me ask you, first of all, are you having a great deal of success convincing Barbadians of the need to look at alternative means of energy?
Well, I think the need has definitely been established. The cost of the electricity is quite high. Barbados Light and Power has now adopted a program in order to help you grid connect. So that has been the deciding factor, because with you can't store the power in batteries. It's just not feasible. So now that Barbados Light and Power has a program for us to do this, it's an exceptional time to take advantage.
Is everybody running around jumping, me next, me next? Is that happening?
Well, there is a financial outlay
well,
for the cost of the system.
We understand that.
Yeah.
But when you talk about the cost of investing, are you in a position to show them the results of savings?
Absolutely. Rob and myself own a company in Canada that does the same sort of thing, which has enabled us to assist Russell in starting the Solar Store Barbados. So we have exceptional experience with the program there. The Barbados Light and Power has adopted a lot of the same connection requirements that Ontario Power Authority has. So we feel that we're quite experienced, and we can make sure that you have a proper connection, and the system is going to perform and is warranted for 25 years.
When we talk about moving towards solar energy, are we foreseeing houses with 10, 15 panels glistening on the rooftop?
Absolutely.
I think you're right. Like the average Barbados Light and Power bill for a residence is around 300 kilowatts per month, and a system of 2 kilowatts will sufficiently take care of that electricity bill. And into some larger systems, a 5 or a 10 or a 50 kilowatt in the aspect of a commercial or corporate building can certainly offset a lot of their power consumption. And one of the nice things that if we can get Barbadians educated and embracing solar energy is that solar energy is VAT exempt. That's a 17.5% savings off the top when you're talking about capital costs and how expensive sort of the systems are on startup. But there's also tax benefits for Barbadians, and that is, as I understand, you have a 50% depreciation on the first year in your tax base. So on a $30,000 residential system, you're writing off 15,000 Barbados dollars in the first year. So that's a nice capitalized expense.
Russell Lloyd, how do you convince Bajans, though, that they should be making this investment?
Well, residentially, depending on the cost of the bill, the bill will do the convincing.
I was just about to say that, because I don't think that Barbadians will be skeptical about moving to solar. Yeah. They'll be very concerned about the cost that they will incur in getting there.
The investment cost.
The investment cost.
What are some of the because obviously feasibility studies would have taken place to reach this point. What were some of the common responses or requests that you would have received from possible consumers?
Well, the consumer's first concern is the expenditure. The second concern will be the payback time. If they make an investment, how long it will take to pay for itself. On average, the larger systems are 3.5 years or so. Some of the smaller systems run around 5 to 6 years. Systems are warranted for 25 years. So you can see it pays for itself quite quickly. And it will be a long-term investment. So for anyone looking down the road or is living in their home for any extended period of time, it makes sense.
There are some Barbadians, I was talking to some folks in the country where I live, and they were suggesting, well, why do I need light and power in the first place. I can just buy a generator and I can put 2 more solar panels and I can do my own thing.
Generators still burn fuel, so environmentally speaking, it's not the greatest, and fuel still costs money. The sun is free. So your initial investment on a system, yes, you pay for a system, but the cost of running that system is zero.
Well, the average Barbadian home, 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom home, what's the investment? Approximate. Not holding you to it.
Approximately, well, 2 to 3 kilowatt system will do the average home, which would be probably around $3,000.
$3,000.
I mean, $30,000.
$30,000. Okay, so
For your initial investment. A $30,000 system will provide for you about $550, $540 a year. A month, sorry, 540 a month.
Yeah, just over
And
5,000 a year.
that offsets most people's bills. You know, if not 100%, pretty close.
And if you're ever, excuse me, if you're ever in the credit, you know, if you're ever in a credit position, Barbados Light and Power would forward you that credit at the end of the year. At the end of your annual billing period, they would forward you a credit for any surplus production from your system.
how can you tell if you're producing more than you need?
Well, you're going to be separately metered. So now we do have some monitoring that's included. Lifetime monitoring is included with the system, so we're monitoring it as well as it's run through a separate meter.
Is this what we're looking at here on screen?
Yes.
Okay.
So that just shows one day's production. So every day, this we would have this live data. So you have that's a nice parabolic from a fairly nice clear day. So if you scroll up, we can actually see. No,
I
scroll.
don't know
Sorry.
if you will be able
Oh,
to see it at the top.
so
of it.
yeah, at the top there's that. So that would show all of the panels there and what their production is, and you can click on the top there. It's daily production, weekly production, monthly, and your lifetime production. So we're monitoring this for free and for performance as well. If there's any issue with performance, if there's any connection problem, then we would know right away. We would get an email. As you can see, all those panels are lit up there.
You see how they're
So
turning blue, and that means the sun has now hit the panels, and
Yeah.
they'll go to a brighter blue as the energy is produced. And a nice parabolic curve shows the sun has risen and continued in a nice day. And when you see the glitches of the graph going up and down, there might be a bit of cloud cover. So it's kind of fun to be able to monitor exactly what you're making in the course hourly, daily, weekly, monthly, and annually.
Now, gentlemen, solar energy and solar powered usage has been something that we've seen here in terms of heaters and those kinds of things. How are we adjusting to, let's say, the climate or the season, let's say hurricane season, where there's less sun, more rain, less heat, etc.?
all the numbers that we're talking about are averages, and a lot of this is based on NASA insolation levels for the area. So we're fairly accurate with what our numbers are annually. We're taking into consideration hurricane season and cloud cover and so on.
When you do have, Barbados has, on average, as NASA insolation records levels show us, 3,000 average sun hours annually. And that takes into account your rain days, your hurricane season, your sun and clouds.
It's more than enough to get the job done.
Twice as much as we have.
We have 1,500 hours in Ontario, and it makes sense for us. In Canada, you have 3,000 we have
Okay.
here. That makes good sense.
And your cost of electricity is 10 times. What
Finally, gentlemen, you don't bring 500 sheets of galvanizing ugly at my house to do this process, do you?
Absolutely.
Okay. I'm just wondering, because it sounds like an intense job, you know what I mean? Just wondering. And I am able to monitor it at home myself?
Yeah, the system can be provided to you if you wish to have the system free of charge. It comes with it.
You said free of charge. I'm volunteer number 1.
And that way you can monitor, just like you saw there, your own system.
You can compare your production via your laptop with exactly what Barbados Light and Power says that you make based on their meter read every month. So if they say you've made 500, then hopefully your laptop says 500. If there's a discrepancy, you're able to show right there. You have the data.
Well,
Wow.
gentlemen, interesting information indeed, and I hope Barbadians will pay closer attention.
Excellent.
The Solar Store Barbados, Andrew Hall-Holland, Russell Lloyd, and Rob Seco?
Seco, yes.
Seco.
Yep, you're close.
Gentlemen, make it a great weekend.
Thank you
Thank
very
you.
much.
Thank you very much
Appreciate
for
that.
And we'll be back with more on Morning Barbados in just a moment.